So I know VR is not for everybody. And yeah, really, to be honest, VR I really only use in racing sims. And recently I picked up a Quest Pro, which is sitting right here, and it's dirty because someone didn't clean it. Anyway, this is my Quest Pro right here, and I bought this for our VR racing sim. But a few months back, probably like 5 months ago, I pre-ordered something. Yes, I know, I said don't pre-order. Realistically, I pre-ordered it so I could do a video about it. And that being the new Vive XR. What is already intriguing to me is just look at the size of the box compared to the headset of the Quest Pro. What's the matter? Oh.
How is anyone supposed to manage these cables?
Yeah, modern PCs feature a lot of fans, RGB components, and daisy chaining cables and connections everywhere, and it's made things really difficult to manage and keep together, which is why Corsair iQ Link has something completely new coming.
Dude.
So realistically, this video today is just gonna be an unboxing, a first look at what you get. I was not planning on doing an unboxing. I was basically gonna be like, here you go, Phil, do your VR thing, because Phil is our resident VR enthusiast. However, this is an XR headset. One of the things that Vive is really trying to do with the XR, which by the way, if you've been keeping tabs on the cost of VR, it's only going up. Like the Quest Pro is like, what? Yeah, 999 bucks. Dang, I don't remember paying that much. I forgot how much I paid for the XR. 1,099. Dang, I paid $2,000 on it. I might have paid a little less because it was the initial pre-order stuff, which usually they'll give you a little bit of a break. Anyway, moving on. $999 for the Quest Pro, $1,099 for the XR Elite. Now what makes the XR different, and Phil will do a whole video about this later, it's just I wanted to unbox it myself and see what's in here, because again, the size is, look at the size of the box versus the headset. And yes, I know the headset can squish back down into a smaller size, but that's insane. It's designed to really utilize more real world environment through XR or augmented reality, kind of doing pass-through stuff. So the Quest can do pass-through viewing, which means it turns on the cameras, you can see the world around you, and that's usually for safety reasons. If you get outside the boundary or the safety zone, then you can see, oh, I'm outside of it, and you can see what's around you, so it's not a trip and a fall hazard. However, HTC Vive is really looking at utilizing that sort of pass-through viewing in an augmented reality setting. So now the VR stuff is overlaid in the real world, which gives you an even more kind of an immersive sort of an effect. But one of the things that truly intrigued me about this, and to be honest, the main reason I bought this is for the racing sim, but the reason for that is its small, lightweight form factor. The Vive XR Elite. One of the other things that is either gonna be a good or bad experience is the controller for VR. There already has so much dust and dirt on them.
Really?
There's all kinds of dust and dirt on that.
Jeez.
Okay, so this has like the halo on there, which it's kind of nice because it sort of protects your hands, although it feels really flimsy. Like, look, okay, first of all, it's very flimsy. Flimsier than my old Quest stuff. Like the old Quest stuff felt like this is a tool. Like I could hammer a nail in a wall. I'm not a fan of the controllers. The downside about the Quest Pro controllers is these are $300 and some odd for the set if you need to replace them. Here's the other controller right here. They do have the hand straps on there, which are very important. We've all seen the videos of people flinging this into their TV and breaking their TV. These would just break on the TV. They wouldn't break the TV. All right, here is here's a cable. It's a USB-C to USB-A. That's one of the things I love about the Quest Pro already, is it gives you this contact pad dock charging station. So the headset and the controllers can charge off of this. And it's cheaper so far. This is the back of the headset, which is once again, super dusty, flaky. What is all this flaky crap? This is also the battery, because remember, this is designed to be a standalone as well. Not just, you don't have to use just a PC with it. So having the battery is nice because untethered VR is the other side of the equation. The nice thing is the Vive XR Elite does feature a small internal battery, which is just enough battery life to give you enough time to hot swap this with another battery if you need to. Of course, the other batteries are gonna cost more. I bet you anything aftermarket batteries will come out for this that has larger capacity potentially, but you could be doing untethered VR or XR and then be able to, oop, my battery's getting low, take it off, unplug it, put it on the charger, plug the new one in, and off you go. And then the battery internal will last like a minute or so to give you enough time to do that. So that's the back of the headset. You can see we got our instructions right in our box right here that are telling you how to connect it. And then here is the actual part we care about right here. Okay, so here's the other charger cables. We have two USB-C charger cables. This would be theoretically for the controllers. So now you can see you need two USB-A charger ports or plugs in your computer and or a hub to power that. Okay, so here's our third cable. So two USB-As and a USB-C are what you need now. Now, obviously, if you want to do tethered gaming, like we have the link cable that we use on the Quest Pro when we're doing our VR stuff on the computer. One, very low latency that way, because it does it over Wi-Fi otherwise, which has gotten better, especially with Wi-Fi 6. We are Wi-Fi 6 here, and we played around with it a little bit. It didn't seem terrible. But we use the link cable one, so infinite power, we never run dead on battery. And two, the quickest latency possible, especially when it comes to like driving sims, which is important. But that's not a very long cable. This is pushing like maybe 3.5 feet. It's about a meter. You got this little travel bag, which is neat and all, except the only thing that gets a bag is the actual front part. But here's the thing. They're just like glasses at this point. They're super, I'm looking forward to the day when this is VR. Right?
Same.
I mean, Tony Stark did it, why can't we? I mean, it's gotta be a day that'll be a thing,
No,
right?
I'm sorry. It just it looks dumber than the Quest Pro on you.
Really? It looks dumber than this?
Yes.
you look like from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids when he's in the backyard looking for them with the magnifying glasses. All right, so it has IPD adjustment right here, so that's the width, so you can get the lenses centered on your eyeball. And then if you look inside, and we'll get a close-up shot of this, there's a dial, 0 through 6. And basically this is the first headset that gives actual diopter control for like prescription correction. So it means if you wear glasses like I do, I don't need them for, my glasses prescription's very, very low magnification. It's just for taking away some eye strain. Whereas someone like Phil has prescription corrective lenses that he cannot see without. He has always had the struggle of finding headsets that he could wear with his glasses, because without them, he could never adjust it to the point to where it was in focus. But these, with the dial that you can turn in there, you can actually dial these into your prescription so that you do not have to wear your glasses under here, which is great. I like that this is a soft fabric piece against your face right here, because the harder rubber pieces, like this one just touches your forehead. Phil took off the blinders on the side, which is the side for blocking light, but this is for his glasses reasons, like I just explained. The problem is with this, a lot of light comes in around the side, and if you're doing scary games or anything that just has big immersion, that's gonna be distraction. But these, as you can see, will seal up against your face. They're fabric though, which means you wanna be like, haha, playing Beat Saber, and be like, here, your turn, because then you're gonna be like,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be super gross. They do pop off. So you can tell your friend, you wanna play, get your own, and they're gonna be all over Amazon and stuff. But now it looks even stupider, because you can see though, the dial I was talking about here. So you can actually dial in for each eye individually. Literally, they're VR glasses. Okay, they wanna fall off your head like that, and there's no adjustment. Okay, anyway, moving on. So these, there should be a button right here. Boom. And then we can take this guy and be like, kaboom. Dang, it really pushes them out though. Like it really bends those out like that.
Probably get better once you.
Let me take the USB-C. No,
Oh.
it doesn't.
Oh.
But in terms of headset size though, you can see already, it's a little smaller. On the part on your face, is definitely smaller. It's weird, like it feels like it wants to slip down my head a little bit. I think I had the back a little bit too low. I need what feels like a tilt adjustment. That's what I feel like I need. Okay, it stays put. A little bit of light bleed still happens underneath my cheek because they're not perfectly sealed up. So right here, it's like touching the very side of my eye socket. not comfortable with that. Like I feel like this needs to be wider and come back here more. Bet you there's aftermarket ones of these available. AB, and we're talking about comfort. Personally, comfort goes to the Quest Pro already. Do you know why? It's not resting on the front of my face. The XR Elite is requiring it to rest against your face and your nose to support the front. This is only requiring my forehead. And then it squeezes perfectly on the back of my head and my forehead, and it's just resting right here. Remember, these can just come off. So you can see, look, it's not on my nose at all. So, and then these are just magnetic. I do have some aftermarket ones that I bought that's designed to be a complete surround, because even with those on, there's a lot of light leak underneath. What we'll have to do in the actual review of it is see who has the better pass-through quality, because that still looks like you're looking in a dream sequence. It's like, it's not great.
Yeah, and if they're gonna put XR on the box,
it better be good.
Better do good AR.
But you know what, let me go back to this one. Okay, so I have to go up high in the back of my head to feel like I'm supporting the weight. And then it feels like it's too low. I think what's happening actually is what's on the screen right now, which is the whole configuration manager thing. It's low in the viewport itself, so I feel like I can't see it that well. It's very cushioned where it touches your nose, but I guess I'm just used now to things not resting on my face for the weight distribution. It wobbles around more side to side than the Pro does. So obviously your mileage is gonna vary based on the shape of your head. I'm going to give comfort to the Quest Pro, honestly, which surprised me, because the whole purpose of me buying this one was I felt like this being smaller and more lightweight, which honestly, it's about 605 grams, 700. So it's 100 grams heavier, but it doesn't feel like it. You know why? Because it's not resting on your face. So there is that. That's where we're gonna sort of stop today. I wanted to look at the form factor. I wanted to see what you get. The fact that it's $100 more, it's less comfortable on my face than it is versus the Quest Pro. You don't get a charging dock. The controllers feel jankier. Like they just feel cheesy and cheap. Like I'm really surprised by this. The controller is very important.
I always like to judge like a VR controller by like, would it be kid proof?
No.
Like would it survive kids, right?
This is cheap plastic, it feels hollow. This is flimsy. I guarantee this is gonna break off someday if you smack it hard enough. It connects right to where the trigger is, so it'll probably damage the trigger too in some way. These probably cost a fortune to replace. The other thing which I didn't do though, which would help, is this strap right here is intended to, I think, be kind of a top strap for the top of your head. That might change things a little bit for me. The one thing I wanna try is the top strap, which might change my opinion on some things, although I'm not entirely sure it will because of its location. So this can only go so far forward. So I think that might help though, because then if I feel like it's not relying entirely on my nose, okay, that changes things. This feels like an afterthought. This feels like after they developed it, people were like, it feels like it's slipping or it's too heavy on my nose. And then they're like, okay, we'll put a strap. Like, that really feels like an afterthought, because if you look at the overall aesthetics and design of this doesn't seem like something that they intended to always be this way. But it does change things, to be honest, because now I can centrally support. It's still rear heavy, as you can see for the battery, but that's fine. Look at the size of the part touching your head. This feels like an afterthought, but you know what? That's better, because now it's not squeezing my head, now it's resting. In fact, now it's too high. There we go. That changes things. What doesn't change is the fact that when I blink, my eyelids are rubbing this. Again, this is gonna require aftermarket support in some way to change that. Final thoughts, this is too narrow. This is too narrow. Phil, put this against your face. You look like a stupid scuba diver. That's my biggest concern, is this for me personally feels too narrow. This part that really narrows in, it's touching my eyes as I blink. Probably something I would get used to, but you know what? For 1,100 bucks, I don't wanna have to get used to something and then buy more things to make it right for how I need it for me. If you're into this, I know this is very niche and most people don't care about this sort of stuff, but we do. If you care about this, then you need to stay tuned for Phil's video where he's gonna do a more deep dive. The thing that sucks about VR is you can't see what we see in it. Even if we captured it, it's just gonna look like a game to you in a weird resolution, like a weird format. Maybe the XR features on it will be enough to overlook everything else because it adds a new layer of interaction and immersion to VR. All right guys, if you have one of these, Maybe sound off in the description or the comments down below on whether or not you feel like it was wasted money or it was worth it. The overall consensus when I read comments about the XR stuff on like the Facebook posts and stuff when they advertise heavily on Facebook, ironically, I guess they're going after the Quest crowd, it's been overwhelmingly negative, honestly. So I guess we'll see. All right guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.